Okay, so make sure you're following directions. Name the shape of each 3D figure from its net and shade in the shape basis lightly. In this case, because it's a rectangular prism we did not let you choose, we shaded it for you. Then you're going to calculate the total surface area and lateral surface area for each net. Make sure to calculate inside each face. Okay, so this is a rectangular prism because when it folds up, it will have all 6 sides and you have a total of 3 equivalent sets. So let's start by calculating one face at a time and make sure to write the calculations inside. For example, on the gray shaded region, this happens to be a 3 by 10 section right there. So calculate inside. So 3 times 10 is 30 square centimeters. That means this is also 30 square centimeters. You must show the formula in at least one of the sets. This will look like your test also, so follow directions closely. Now let's focus on the smaller section right here, the red. And this is a 3 by 5, so do the calculation inside. That gets you 15 square centimeters, and no, this is the exact opposite side if it was folded together, so those are equivalent. Now for the last set. This is a 5 by 10. Now I don't want you being difficult with this because these two sides are exactly the same, so when this box closes up, these are aligned with each other. So if this is 5, this is also 5 also. So we're just going to label 5 by 10. And that means the equivalent side would be a 5 by 10 also. So fill that final answer in. Now the total surface area for one of our final answers means we're adding up all those sides. When you add them all up, you get your final answer of 190 square meters. Now, you're not done because now you're finding the lateral. Lateral means we just don't count the shaded regions, only the 4 other sides. So that means we just add up the 50, 50, 15, and 15 for a total of 130 square meters. Meaning all we really did was subtract 30 and 30 from our total surface area. And you get 130 left over. So lateral does not mean your basis. Okay, go ahead and pause the video at this point and try the rectangular prism that's on your worksheet. Remember, the numbers are different. All right, so let's think about this figure. When it folds up and those petals fold in, it becomes a pyramid because it comes to a point. Now this is a rectangle for its base, so that means it is, guess what? Rectangular pyramid. Make sure you shade in your base, which would be the rectangle. That's why it's a rectangular prism. And let's go ahead and start our calculations. First, let's actually calculate the area of that base. Since it's just a basic rectangle, 4 times 6, because it's a 4 by 6, you're multiplying and you get 24 square meters. Okay, now let's go ahead and pick a triangle. I'm going to go ahead and pick this one and solve for this one. And know that this across from it is the same. So this is one calculation that we will use twice. Alright, so we have 1/2 because our formula is a triangle. 1/2 base times height. This is a 6 by 3. And then half of 6 is 3 times 3 is 9. So that's 9 square meters. So we have that one, so that means we also have this one too. All right, now let's get the other triangle, which would be also a 1/2. Base is a 4, while the height is a 5. 4 times 5 is 20, half of it is 10, and that is square meters. So this is a 10 square meters, and this is a 10 square meters. So that means we have all the sections that we need to get our total. So we get a grand total when we add those up of 62 square meters. Now the lateral, remember, we don't count this 24. We just count these 4 because it's the petals of all of them. that means we could subtract 24 from what we have or just add these up again, and we get our grand total of just 38 square meters for the lateral, which is just the triangles. Go ahead and pause the video and try this one that's on your worksheet. Remember, they're different numbers. All right, so if we fold this pizza box up, it will become a rectangular prism again. So let's practice our rectangular prisms. I'm going to go ahead and calculate the largest pieces first, just because, no reason specifically why. And this is a 9 by 8. So that gets you 72 square meters for that one. That means this one is also 72 square meters. Now I'm going to pick one of the other sides, and I guess I'll do this one. I know this is a 2 by 8, because if this side is 8, this side is 8 also. So this is 2 times 8, which gets you 16 square meters for that one. That means this one over here is 16 square meters, because those are the sides when it closes up. Now we only have these two left, which I know is a 9. Because this side is 9, that means this side is 9. All of these are 9s right here. So this is a 9 by 2, because these are 2s, they will close up to match. So this one is a 9 by 2, so that is just 9 times 2, which is 18 square meters. So that means this one is also 18 square meters. So now let's get our grand totals. When I add them all up, I get a grand total of 212 square meters, and that's the total. Now, if I just add up this portion, meaning not the shaded in regions, not your bases, you get your lateral surface area, which is just a 68 square meters, because that's the red and the green portions only, not your bases. Now pause the video and try the one that looks just like this, but different numbers. All right, now when I fold this one up, I'm going to have two equivalent triangles on both ends. So this is a triangular prism. It would look like a tent, or, as we've already done, a block of cheese if it was folded up. Now let's study what they have given us so far. Now I see these hash marks in here. That means these two side lengths are exactly the same. I know when they close up, this side and this side match up. It might not look like it, but this side and these two sides are exactly the same. So look, this is labeled 10, so that means this is 10. And these are exactly the same. So if you want the extra information, you could put it on there and label that 10. That's up to you. But let's go ahead and calculate our bases first. All right, so we have 1/2 12 by 5. So I take half of 60 and I get 30 square meters. Now if this one is 30 square meters, that means, guess what? This one is 30 square meters also. Do not forget the halves, they are triangles. So let's move on to another one. I'm going to go ahead and pick this end here, and that is an 8 by 10, so it's easily, I just write it out, don't forget to copy, and you get 80 square meters. Now what you do need to see is, because these are exactly the same, these two sides, this is lined up against here when it closes, this is lined up against here, and they are equivalent. So that means if this is 10 meters, because this is 10 meters, these are equivalent, so that makes then this 10 meters, and that means this is 10 meters. And of course, if this is 8, the other side is 8 also. So we have, again, an 8 by 10. These two sides are equivalent. So this side and this side are exactly the same because of these little hash marks when they line up, meaning those two sides are the same. The middle, though, is different. It does not have the hash mark in it, so that means this is longer. Notice this is 10 by 10 by 12. So this one side is a 12 by 8. So we need to calculate that one differently. 12 by 8 gets you 96 square meters. All right, now we have all 5 sides located and calculated, so now we just need to do the addition. Okay, so you add them all up, and with all 5 sides, you get a total right here of 316 square meters. Now, again, if I don't want the bases, that means I just want these laterals right here, which is your rectangles, the red, and green section. That means I just add those up, and I get 256 square meters because it doesn't include the 30 on both sides. Again, pause the video and try this on your own paper. All right, make sure to shade in the base as requested on every one of the problems. This, of course, the base is a triangle, so it's a triangular, and when it folds up, it comes to a point, so it is a pyramid. All right, so let's study what they gave us so far. They did give you these hash marks. Those hash marks means this is 6, that means this is 6 also. Now notice they have them here too. This is a 6 and this is a 6. So these are the same figure because they share that 5 line. These two then are the same. This one though has a height of 7. So this is a 6 by 7. And this is obviously a 6 by 7 also because they are both equivalent. So let's go over that again. Our base, let's go ahead and calculate that, which is a base of 5 times a height of 8. So this right here is 1/2 5 times 8. And that gets you 40 divided by 2, which is 20 square meters. Now, I do know again that this is a 5, and the sides are also 6 right here as the same as these. So these are the same figure. That means this is also 20 square meters. But if you look at the dimensions of these other ones, this is a 6 by 7. So let's calculate that one right here. 1/2, 6 times 7. 6 times 7, 42. Half of that is 21 square meters. Now this is also a 6, and obviously they are the same, so this is 21 square meters also. They're the same because they're the same distance from here and here. Okay, so now we have all 4 sides, or it was that easy. So let's just figure out what is our surface area and what is just our lateral surface area. The total surface area when I add up all of them, so that gets you all those added up for a grand total of 82 square meters. Now, the base is just one of them. It's one of the 20s. So that means I do include this other 20 because it's 3 of the sides, these 3 sides here that count. So that gets you 62 square meters for the lateral, the petals of these things. Okay, now make sure you're trying your hardest, pause the video, and finish that last question that matches it on today's worksheet.